Reason being because I was a sinner and Jesus saved me. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as the long-awaited day of redemption had finally found its designation. As its appointed time was finally here, as the earth shook and trembled in fear, as those close to him had lied, while those closest to him had finally had him denied, as prophecy had this day foretold, so this disciple could have him sold. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered, as the Pharisees gathered a crowd so large to have him witness as he was being charged, as they did not let him plead his case just in order for them to see death take its place, as his last hope had washed his hands and warned by his enemies to be crushed by their hands, as in this world he could no longer stay just because his own hadn't betrayed, as the Pharisees were permitted to kill and crucify him for sins he had not committed. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as they gathered wicks just to leave his body with stripes, leaving his body with bruises so they could conclude him to be useless. As they stood there and watched him while his skin was being gouged by them, beating him in his mother's presence until there was no longer any resemblance, beating him until there was nothing as blood became his clothing. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. For when he screamed, his voice became one with their laughter. Such a sound could not even be expressed by the best of writers, as when he bled, his blood cried louder than Abel's, but his blood was not crying for vengeance, but for salvation, as he called us into repentance. As they mocked him without knowing that he was and still is the firmament, deceived by the blood that was covering him, which represented their sins, but all they saw was a garment. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as they made him carry a cross on his back while he had our backs to cover all the places in our lives where we left. As he walked to the hill while carrying the cross in order for us to walk into the right path without getting lost. While walking, carrying that heavy burden, just to say to us, come to me all who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest as I go through this pain, turmoil, anguish in order for you to conquer your test. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as the definition of holiness had been put on the highest pinnacle with two sinners, as the Romans made a spectacle of him who had no sin as they became killers. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as they mocked him while they called him the king of the Jews while he was being punished, without taking notice that his last words on this earth was, "It is finished." The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as he who had taught them how to pray had been put into a grave. As little did they know that God can't be contained, so the stone had to roll away. As he came out clothed in splendor and majesty, he ascended, making way for his spirit as it descended, so full reconciliation with the Trinity can be shown. As the one who sits on the throne has finally called us his own. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered as the story of the Messiah was no longer a myth but a reality. As he came into this earth to save you and me. As the earth was once covered by Noah's flood, he came to cover us with his blood. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth shook as the veil was torn and righteousness into the earth was restored. As we can now come before him without being held back by sin. As he does not see people but he sees his children due to the selfless sacrifice of his son. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. For on that painful day his mercy saved me. And until this day his grace has kept me. For on that day he gave me a relationship so I could stand before him in order for me to worship. So is there anyone here who can raise their hands and say, worship God here? Is there anyone who can stand right now and give him the praise for who he is? For when he created you, it was for his pleasure. He did not create you to lust against the world's treasure, but you are his own. The one who sits on the throne says, you're not just my child, but you are my son. I gave you a mission to go spread my gospel. So you have a purpose-driven life already. The earth shook and dark clouds gathered. The earth was humbled as now his children gathered.
Go.